Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Rebecca and I live in northern Spain on a mountainside in a homestead, and I wanted to make a video to show you guys around because I've only recently moved in and I'm in the process of setting the place up. I have had this channel for a couple of years. If you're watching this, you're probably already subscribed to me and you'll probably already know that I have taken a hiatus from the channel and I haven't posted any videos for like few months while I was in the process of moving. So now I've more or less moved and I officially live here because this is now where my chickens are and my cats are, and that means that's where I spend most of my time. So yeah, I just wanted in this video to show you guys around a bit. It's a lovely place. Like today it is actually raining a little bit. It's not like the best day to show you guys around, but actually it's a blessed relief because well, if you're in Western Europe, you'll already know why. We've had like a massive heat wave in Western Europe and it's been like pretty unbearable for the past week. And I, for one, have been completely wiped out by it. I've spent the past few days basically sleeping. Like everybody's the same, like no one got any sleep. Everybody's been really stressed and struggling, and I did my best. I got through it as best I can. I have like a protocol for heat waves since moving to Spain. Open all the windows at night and let all the cool air in, and then first thing in the morning close the shutters and keep the place dark, and have a little fan, and I have my water sprayer. So all those things were put into action and I muddled through the heat wave. So here I am now, just so glad that it's actually cool enough to be having a bit of light rain. But yeah, like I say, it's not really the best day to walk around with the camera that's going to now get wet. But I also happen to have the place to myself for the day, and I have enough energy to make a video, and then tomorrow I've got to get on with so much stuff that I just thought, well, why not just use this day to reconnect with you guys and give you an update on what's going on. So I first moved to Spain about 7 years ago, just 2 weeks before the pandemic actually. So I arrived and then 2 weeks later it was the confinamiento, which in Spain it was the confinement, which was very strict in Spain, and that was my introduction to living in Asturias in northern Spain, the pandemic. But I had moved to a cabin on a mountainside, and I lived in that cabin for 4 years. And if you follow my channel, you'll know that there was a recuperation process going on for my physical health, which was successful. So by the end of that 4 years, I had, through changing my environment and changing my diet, I had regained my strength and my health, and that's remained consistent ever since. But for personal reasons, the mountain cabin didn't work out. I moved away, and then that set off a chain of events where I moved first to Galicia and then back to Asturias to a different house, but then ran into legal problems in that house and also really missed my mountain cabin. So I set about trying to find another one, and instead of buying the house that had the legal problems, I ended up buying this place instead, which was in a much cheaper area. And it's different. Like, I told you all of that just to kind of give some context, but like it's causing me to like reflect a lot on my first 4 years in Spain, or the first cabin that I had in Spain, which was like, it was hard to beat in terms of the just sheer beauty of it, both the cabin itself and the views. Like I will never live anywhere more beautiful again. It was 12 out of 10, you know. It was just something quite unbelievable, to be honest. And I'll always look back on it with, you know, a tug in my heart that I'm not there anymore. But this new place it's not like it replaces that cabin. You know, I for a long time regretted selling it and thought I'd made a huge error that's now what, you know, I don't have the cabin anymore. But like, actually this place, I wouldn't say it's not more beautiful than the cabin, my old cabin, but it's got advantages over that cabin. The main advantages being its location. So it's not in the tourist area, it's not in the most picture perfect beautiful area. It's like an ex-mining, it's called the Cuenca Minera, the mining basin. It's where the miners lived. So it's like, now it's like a whole load of flats, apartments like that for low income families, and it's much closer to the city, so it's yeah, you don't get tourists here, and that's a good thing. I just think it's more like real life, like it's on the outskirts of the city, but it is rural, so but it's like a living rural atmosphere. Like in the tourist areas in Asturias, it's like a lot of second homes, and like you don't hear cockerels crowing, you know, when you wake up in the morning, and it's like nobody's really, not that many people are actually in the farming business there anymore. Like obviously there are people, but like it's mainly tourism, whereas here everybody's, you know, you hear cockerels crowing, you hear dogs barking, you hear donkeys braying, like all around in the valleys, and I love that. Yeah, it's like an active farming area, but it's also closer to the city, so it's like half an hour drive away is Oviedo, which is a big city, and then 40 minutes drive is Gijón, which is a big city, which is actually my favourite city in the region. It's on the beach, and it's got like quite hippie vibe, I think, like a quite chilled vibe, lots of independent cafes, and it's very dog friendly, Gijón is. There's a train line as well, so that goes directly to Gijón from my nearest town, which is 10 minutes away, so it's like really convenient. And like just 10 minutes drive away I've got a massive supermarket called Al Campo, which is like, I used to have to drive an hour and a half to get to, and now it's 10-15 minutes away. It's huge, it's absolutely huge supermarket where you can actually get like international food as well, and like it's a superstore, so like a hipermercado, hipermarché, whatever, a hypermarket where you can get like furniture and clothes and all kinds of things. Like the Al Campo is amazing, and it's like 15 minutes away. It's so handy. And my bank branch is 10 minutes drive, and like the car's annual service is it's called the ITV in Spain, and that's like, normally you have to drive quite a way to get to your nearest ITV station, and it's 10 minutes away. Like these things make life a lot easier, and it makes socializing easier as well, to be able to just drive into the city and without too much thought, while also enjoying, you know, the benefits of being isolated, you know, which is I don't have any neighbours, I can play music really loud, no one's gonna know, no one's gonna care. I've got beautiful views, and I'm living off-grid, so I've got solar panels, I've got spring water, I've got a fireplace, and I've got lots of firewood, and so, you know, it's all of the loveliness of off-grid life in a relatively isolated spot, but with all the conveniences of the city at just like a short drive away. So I didn't have that in the other cabin. In the other cabin, I was definitely more isolated. Like if I'd broken a bone or something, it would have been difficult to make sure to get help, you know, to get a taxi to come up, or somebody to just drop by. But here there are people that I've made friends with in the local area that, you know, if I was in trouble they'd drop by and it wouldn't be too difficult. Now the track leading up to the place is difficult, like that is really difficult. I showed it in a previous video and people were like, oh, it doesn't look that bad, but that's because on video it comes out flat, like you can't actually appreciate steepness in a video, I've noticed. So trust me, it's really bad. It's walking distance, it's like just under 1 kilometre, but the track is just terrible. So that's the one thing that stops it being accessible. But it is only a short walk down to my Toyota Yaris. I've got a 4x4 for when I need to drive up to the door, and a trailer, so I can bring stuff here. But like if I just want to hop into the car and drive into the city in my nice little Toyota Yaris that I've had for like decades, I just walk down to it and I walk back up again, and it's a nice walk in the forest. So yeah, it works for me. Like I'm happy here. I don't feel too isolated, but I also enjoy the isolation that it has got. Yeah, so basically what these past few months have been about, apart from moving house, which honestly I never want to move house again, I'm so done with moving house, it's been about letting go of my expectations for how much I'm going to get sorted this year, and what this year is going to look like in terms of the place being finished. Like maybe it's an ongoing project that will go on for years before I feel like, okay, I've done everything I need to do here, and it's just this nicely functioning farm. Basically, like this year what I wanted to get done was get the place properly fenced, because there is fencing, like the fence posts are there, but like the wire mesh is all rusted, and that means that my dog, if he's desperate, can break through it, and he gets desperate whenever I leave. He wants to go with me, and he's like anxiously attached I adopted him at an older age, so I don't know what his past is, and clearly he's got like anxiety around certain things like thunderstorms, cars, water, and separation from me. So when I leave, he can't handle it, and he's desperate, and so he follows me, and he's able to break through the fencing because it's rusted, because it's not covered in plastic, it's just wire, like metal wire. So over time it's become weaker. So anyway, that needs to be redone. Like, that's not an expense I had accounted for when I bought the place. To me, it looked properly fenced. Turns out that it's very, very old fencing, so there you go. So that's something that I was really hoping to get done by now, by June. I bought the place in January, now it's June. Hasn't been done. I was let down by a local guy, a guy in the local area that was going to do it, like a great guy, but it's just a litany of disasters has meant that the work hasn't been done. Apart from the dog, apart from Stanley, the reason is because I really want to keep sheep so that I can become as self-sufficient as possible, and sheep are really like, they're real escape artists, so you need to have proper fencing. So I can't do that. I can't have sheep until the fencing's done, and that means that the grass has been growing really, really long. It's been like eyeball level, and that was a problem. Like, that should never have happened. You know, the fencing needed to have been done like in February, March, so that I could get the sheep in and prevent the grass growth, and that just didn't happen. Right, I'm having to let go of all of these things. Like, if the grass has now been trimmed on one side, and on the other side there's actually 2 cows and a horse, not mine. Someone left the gate open, and the next thing I knew, there's 2 cows in the field. And then a few days later, this guy came looking for them, and I was like, yeah, like, they just came in my field. And he was like, you know what, they can stay. And in fact, I'll bring a horse as well. So now there's a horse. The horse is a bloody nightmare. If I walk in that field, I'll try, if it's not raining too much, I'll walk in there and show you what I mean. The horse will come straight up to me, want to hang around me, won't let me. I'm a little bit scared of it. Like, I'm an animal person, but like, I've never had a horse, and like, it's a big horse and it is friendly, but it's like, if it kicked, or if it tried to bite my nipple, like, I was all like, oh, it's so great to have this beautiful horse, and now I'm like, the horse can F off, like, just get away from me. But they're doing a good job of getting the grass down. As far as I'm concerned, they can stay for a couple of weeks, get the grass down, then the fencing's got to get done, and then the sheep have got to get in there, and then that'll be fine. Also, geese are really good for keeping grass down, so I wouldn't mind getting some geese. But I need to get like a geese house made. I've got a chicken coop, but I haven't got a goose house. So there's all these things been going on, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't get done this year, if I don't end up getting sheep this year, so be it, it's fine. This is the year that I moved in, I moved my stuff, I got to know the place, I got to know some of the locals, I settled in and made it my home, and that is enough of an aim. So that's where I'm at. All of that just to say, like, don't have too high of an expectation in terms of a functioning farm while I show you around. It is still just somebody else's farm that I've moved into. This guy, the guy who used to own it, who died, he was a cider maker. So there's like loads of cider in a bodegon, in a cellar, like a cellar, cider cellar. It's like full of cider bottles with homemade cider in them, and there's like 80 mature apple trees. So obviously that's really good, but it's also a lot of work. The apple trees are a lot of work. That's pruning, that's harvesting, you know. What do I do with the apples when I've harvested them? I'm actually like a carnivore dieter, so like I have loads of fruit trees. I've got like pear trees, fig trees, peach tree, cherry trees, apple trees, there's even grapevines, kiwis. Like, I have got so many fruits now, and technically I'm carnivore, but I'm thinking of going keto. But I actually just love having the fruit trees. I think that it's a wonderful asset to have. It's a wonderful privilege to have so many mature fruit trees. It just means I have fruit to offer other people, or to sell, or to make into produce, or I don't know. I kind of, in my carnivore journey, I kind of feel like I'm more concerned these days, I'm more ketovore, and I'm more concerned these days with whether it's whole foods and whether it's foods that's been grown in my land, on my land, so that I know that pesticides haven't gone into it, or in the case of animals that they've been treated well, haven't been pumped full of antibiotics or whatever. And that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my diet. In case you're wondering, if you're following me as a carnivore dieter, that's where I'm at. I'm more into whole foods, animal products at the core of it, but including fruit and veg from my farm. Yeah, and I just feel secure knowing that I have got a source of sustenance in the event of a societal collapse. You know, I not to be pessimistic, but just to be realistic about the way the world is. I feel secure knowing that there is a source of nutrition here that is growing naturally and in abundance, and that you know, should whatever happen, I have that. So yeah, anyway, I'll show you around and then I'll probably just wrap up this video. I'm showing you around before I've really found a place for everything. Like, there's still junk lying around, so please don't judge me for that. I like to have the space organised and tidy, but right now there's stuff lying around. So I've got somebody coming next week. I've got a workaway volunteer coming next week to help me move like heavy boxes and stuff, and he'll be staying for about 3 weeks. So yeah, I didn't mention I've had like several volunteers. It's been very sociable here in the past few weeks. We've had barbecues, we've had like all sorts going on, and I've just happened to be on my own this weekend, but new people are coming next week. So anyway, just to say that I'm not showing it to you in its optimal, organised, feng shui space situation, but you can get an idea of what it's like. Okay, so this is the terrace. The terrace, there's Stanley who breaks through the fencing, don't you? Yep, so this is the terrace, this wonderful terrace. I'm very happy with it. I'm not too keen on this pallet being here, but I have to, is to stop Stanley getting to this little cider cellar that I was talking about, which is where the cats currently have their little house. There's the door, and yeah, now you can see at the back there's another door that you can open, and it's like an L shape, and it goes down in underground, and that's where all the cider bottles are. But you can see the barrels, and you can see the machinery here for cider making. That's a press. So, and here's my solar panel inverter. You can see that there. Not very interesting, but there you go. That's where my solar panel inverter is, and the battery. I've got a nice lithium battery, because you can let a lithium battery go down all the way to 0 without it getting ruined, which lead batteries, you can only get them to 50% before they start to have issues, and then you have to buy a whole new load of batteries. That's my lavender plant. I don't know if it's going to survive the move. Yeah, so this is like the outdoor dining space and the outdoor living room. This is my reading chair. This is the book I'm reading, really good book. This is the outdoor terrace where I've got a little fire pit, bowl. There's my hammock. There's the washing line. Here's some of the trees, and you can see there's roses. Okay, so here we are inside the house, which I'm really sorry about all these crates. I'm embarrassed to show you it with all these. I keep stuff in storage for workaway volunteers and for, you know, just in case whatever may happen. Like dried chickpeas, dried beans, stuff like that. So yeah, here is the space. Yeah, here is Yasmin, who these days spends all her time lying around. She's her battery's running low. Isn't it? Yeah. Here's my fridge. I've got a fridge. You can look at the state of it. That's what happened to it on the journey up the track. But it works. It works. There's dinner for later. Yep, there's my water filter. Here's my speakers. What else? The bathroom. That's something that I really want to change. The bathroom isn't that great. It's decent size for a cabin, I have to say. But the shower, this little pointless bath that's not even long enough for a person is going to get ripped out, and that's just going to be a shower on that side of the room. And then, you know, there's a bidet. I don't need a bidet. And then I'm holding like a thing above the camera so that the rain doesn't fall on the camera. Here we go. Look at these lovely flowers. Here's my lemon tree and my kaki tree. A kaki is a persimmon or a Sharon fruit. Again, I don't know if they'll survive the move. They came out of the previous garden. There's my solar panels, outdoor shower, but the shower, I've got to say, below there is the cider cellar, and the cider cellar roof is caving in, which I believe is because of the shower. So I don't know, I have to move it. Anyway, so there's this little seating area. Yep. It's in the sunshine, obviously. It looks really, really lovely, but I don't like sunshine at the moment. I'm not a fan. So this is where I'm currently sleeping. Again, full of junk. Lovely views out of the window, which you can't see because of the rain. But this room will become another, like, basically there's 2 double bedrooms, which is the other major advantage of this place over my former cabin. I can host people here. I can give them a bedroom, which in my other cabin it wasn't really possible. So it's full of junk. That's stuff that my previous workaway left because he's coming back. That's my bell tent. It's a shame about the views, actually. I wish I could show you the views. Never mind. Yeah, so there's 2 decent sized bedrooms here, and I am currently, as I say, I'm currently sleeping in this one, but my caravan has recently arrived, so I will be living in my caravan, and both those bedrooms will be available to workaways. You do have to go outside to go to the downstairs, which means that if you need the toilet in the night, you have to come outside and go downstairs. So some people might not like that, but I don't really mind. Right, let's get the keys. My little key thing. I'm going to see what's going on over on the other side. Here's my lovely 4x4. Very happy with that. Suzuki Vitara, if anyone's wondering. So this is the track leading up to my neighbour's farm. This is the track. So as you go down, you get to a bit where there's no longer any concrete and it just becomes a track, which is, the surface is absolutely terrible. Just beyond that corner, it turns into a terrible, terrible track, which is fun. And here's my caravan. Actually, I've left it locked and I didn't bring the key, so yeah. But yes, very happy to have that with me here. Right, so this is the other side. So that's the one side, that's the car, and this is the actual farm, where the horse is somewhere. So let's go and have a look. I don't want the horse to come. Oh God, I'm worried about water getting into my camera. Again, more junk to be cleared. Big swimming pool they left behind, which is a thing of quite some value, but like I don't actually really want it, except maybe I'll use it for the geese and the ducks. Yeah, there you go. Here's my little trailer, which I love very much. I really don't want the horse to suddenly appear. I'm not a huge fan of the horse anymore. I used to love the horse. Now I am wary of the horse. And if she gets the sense that I'm here, she'll probably come running over and say hello. Here's my chicken coop. Look, all this junk needs to be cleared in the trailer with some help. Chicken Lilas! So this is the chicken coop. Yep, nice and big, nice and ventilated. We've got any eggs this morning? We have 1. They're not really laying that much these days. I get like 2 a day. Yep, here's number 2. Only 2 eggs today, as usual. Not sure why. You got enough water, guys? Oh. These are actually rabbit hutches. He had rabbits, so maybe I will do the same. Haven't decided yet if I want rabbits. He also had beehives at the other end of the field. I don't know where the horse has gone. I haven't let the chickens out yet because I'm trying to work out if they need like a fenced in enclosure or whether they can just be free range completely. I'm not 100% sure what's best yet, because it means if they're free range completely, then if my dog gets in the field, he'll have one of them. Here's all the apple trees. So many apple trees. There's like 80 mature apple trees. Where's the bloody horse? I'm suspicious. Why has the horse got out? I'm suspicious about the horse not coming to greet me. Here is my greenhouse. Now, I love this greenhouse, and I had some great workaways who came and they cleared it of all the weeds and they laid down some manure. So that's going to be a very fun project for the coming months, although obviously it's too late in the year to get much grown. Well, there's certain things you can plant later in the year, isn't there? But I'm looking forward to that. Now look, I have no idea where the horse is. I think they've broken out. There was a horse and 2 cows in this field. And they are nowhere to be seen. Okay, well look, the horse didn't come. That's making me think the horse has escaped. A bit concerned about that. This thing obviously needs to be taken away, broken up and taken away. It fell down. Because this, what is underneath it is this, which is literally for roasting lamb, roasting sheep. It's like it would have a spittle in it, and it would be like a big fire pit. And this was the roof over it, but it collapsed. It collapsed not very long ago, actually, just after I bought the place. So I was lucky that I wasn't living here and sitting underneath it when it happened. Okay, well there you go. That's just a brief introduction to my new home, my homestead on a mountainside in Asturias in northern Spain. So as I say, it wasn't the best day to show you around in terms of showing it off in the best light because it is raining today. And it's a shame that the horse isn't in the field. Don't know why the horse isn't there. I'm going to contact the horse's owner and find out if yesterday, without my knowledge, he came and took the horse away, because if he didn't, then it's escaped. So anyway, not my problem. That's it. So yeah, not the best day to show it off, but it is a much better day to just feel like myself again, because the temperatures have gone down and that rain feels refreshing and life-giving and revitalizing. So I'm happy that it's raining. It's just a shame that I can't show you the views because of the clouds, but I'm sure in future videos you'll get a much better picture of what the views are like from here. So yeah, there you go. That's just a basic intro to my homestead, and it's all going on. So I'll do another video soon to give you an update on all of the works that are being done and the community that's growing here. Okay, all right, take care. Hope you're all doing great wherever you are in the world. See you next time. Bye. Where were you hiding? Where were you hiding? You funny. You're funny.